35192. Want to send a text if you listen to us on iHeartRadio. See this map over my shoulder here? That's our bureau chief map. Each one of those pins or collection of pins are people who listen to us from out of state around these United States, nay, around North America. We have Canadian bureau chiefs. We have Andrew in Hammondsport, New York. You know where Hammondsport is, Mary?
I do not.
Is that anywhere near you? Is that in your neighborhood?
Not that I know of.
Hammondsport, New York.
New York City.
We have Joel in Minneapolis, Bob in Green Valley, Arizona. A brand new listener hit me up today. Eric listens in Emmetsburg, Iowa, which is in the middle of nowhere. It's about 2 hours from everywhere. It's 2 hours from Sioux City. It's 2 hours from Des Moines.
Damn.
It's 2 hours from, Cedar Rapids. Adam listens in Lexington, Kentucky. I was watching a thing this morning about how Lexington, Kentucky put together a team of scientists to send what they say is the first intergalactic tourism ad saying, hey, if there are aliens out there, come to Lexington, Kentucky. Are you an alien that likes bourbon? I mean, there's no downside to this. And you got to get that tourism revenue. I've never been to Lexington. We went to Louisville not too long ago. But I think you could take an exit before that, right? Lexington's between Cincinnati and Louisville?
No, I think Lexington is further
down,
east.
Oh, it is. Well, that's what I mean. Like, when you leave Cincinnati, there's, like, exits to go east to Lexington.
I don't even know.
You keep going south
Actually,
to Louisville,
no.
though.
And it mostly just says Louisville right there. I don't know.
This is the first time that we as a species have ever sent out a travel ad inviting aliens to come visit.
We're targeting the TRAPPIST-1 system because we might actually get an answer in somebody's lifetime if there's somebody there watching. But the reason scientists have been interested in it lately is because of the large number of planets that it has and what it's considered to be the habitable zone.
I think saying, hey, we're nice and friendly people, we have horses and bourbon and dopamine, don't eat us.
Dopamine?
I don't know if aliens need dopamine.
Not only that, but
I don't know what they need.
You can't tell me this is the first place to do it. I mean, Roswell, New Mexico's entire local economy, small as it might be, is based on Area 51. They had to have sent some stuff out. I was reading they finally got that case open with the asteroid. Remember they got that, they couldn't get the thing open because of the bolts on it. Did you read about that?
No, what?
I don't want to. There's an asteroid sample, and they couldn't, the Bennu asteroid, they couldn't get the thing open. It had bolts on it or something that they weren't able to, they couldn't open the asteroid capsule. And then I was reading today that they finally got it open.
Oh.
What'd they find?
Road maps.
And an orange and white capsule containing pieces of an asteroid landed on Earth last fall. They wanted to open it up and take a look inside, but they couldn't get it open because it was bolted so tightly or something. And they finally got the asteroid canister open. They said that the contents are invaluable. And I was reading they finally got it open. At least I think that just happened. It'd be great if your entire job with NASA was, you are not out of here until you get that capsule open. So you better be working overtime.
They should have made a TikTok channel for that, or Reels or whatever, because I watch those all the time where they're cracking open safes that they find. Oh, love those.
Dude, I went down a rabbit hole, speaking of TikTok. I was watching organization porn.
Oh, my God.
Laugh if you want, dude.
We are. We are.
Fine.
Let him have his thing. Don't.
It's all pumpkin spice latte moms. Not even moms. I guarantee there's no mom that's got that much goddamn time to label her plastic containers. And what this girl's like going through, it's a supercut of her doing her Sunday cleaning, which she does every week.
That's
And
when Sunday is.
this one girl in particular is like She's got all of her plexiglass containers, her lucite containers, and they're labeled, and she's pouring detergent pods into them and then sliding them back. I'm like, I had like one hand down my pants. I love that stuff. Any of these organizational...
See, I would love to have that stuff done for me, but I don't want to be the one that does
I love doing it. It's so
But if somebody
calming.
If somebody had it all set up for me and I just had to put things where they go, that's one thing. But like I can't even begin to know where to put stuff.
I like the process. Like when I organize our pantry, I'm like zenning out. I just love it, labeling things and putting them in. I don't know what it says about me. I don't know where my sense of like organization. My shrink is like, well, it's because when you were younger, like being organized was the only thing that you could control. It's a control thing because you're getting beat up and all that kind of stuff. So, but sometime you gotta let your childhood go, right? I can't be 52 talking about how I got beat up in school. But those things are hard to deprogram too, probably. But, oh, God, these TikTok, because one leads you to the next.
Yeah.
It starts giving you what you want. So I'll open up my Instagram, and it's all it's all organization accounts.
The closest thing I get to that is watching unclogged videos.
Ooh, I was watching some of those this morning.
Yeah, that's what
Now,
I'm
does
saying.
that include when they'll pull like a glacier out of somebody's ear? Do you watch those too?
A glacier out of someone's
Well,
ear?
I'm exaggerating, but like a giant
like
thing of wax.
plug.
Yeah.
It's not.
They sell those Q-tips with a camera on the end.
No,
and
you're
they
talking
It's
about
not so much body parts. There was
you're talking
one-
about like the ones where they're like drains and stuff, right?
Yeah, so
Yeah.
this one was like a sewer. It had they tied, for whatever reason, they had a chain with a tire at the end of it, and they pulled the tire through the pipe or whatever, and it was just
It pulls all the debris
a bunch
out.
of mud, and then the water
Yeah.
just starts flowing like perfectly.
Oh, that's great.
Like clear water after that.
So
I was
satisfying.
like, wow. And then they did one, what was the other one? Anyways, it's just a bunch of holes getting unclogged.
I like the ones like, it's like a autistic guy with a rake and some rubber boots, and he just goes and cleans out drains and pipes and stuff like
There's
that.
one,
Oh, I
like,
love 'em.
what's the city? Is it Amsterdam that has like the river in between the downtown?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, maybe.
They had a machine picking up all the bikes out of the
Oh,
river.
yeah, I've seen that one.
And then
That's
the
good.
water starts flowing.
A trawler.
Yeah, whatever it is. And so that's good. But that's just like as close as I get. I like watching those, and then like the exploding videos where they put like, or it's not even like an exploding thing. They just put like a Rubik's Cube or something like that, and then they smash it.
Hydraulic press.
Yeah.
Oh,
that's what it
those
is.
are great.
Yeah, those
Yeah.
are cool.
Yeah.
I like when they squish gummies, like gummy candies.
and it goes
Yeah.
Then
like
again,
streamers.
those are the ones that like don't even do anything. Like they just absorb. I'm like, we're putting those into our body. Like a machine can't even crush this, and we are.
Stomach acids can break down what the hydraulic press cannot handle.
Cannot, yeah.
Speaking of putting things in our bodies, they're discontinuing Fruit Stripe gum.
Took them long enough. It's
Is
been
that the
around
one that-
100 years.
Is that the gum that lasts like 5 seconds?
With
Yes,
the zebra,
two chews.
with the
Oh,
zebra.
You could blast through a pack in just the amount of time since I started telling you that they're
But it
Such
had
a
the,
discontinuing. Had the zebra on the
the
pack.
lick and stick tattoos on the wrapper.
Yep. Fruit Stripe gum has been now. The company that made this is a Chicago company. It's called Ferrara Pan Candies. And when I was a kid, all of your local, we were up to our necks in Lemon Heads and Baby Ruths and Fruit Stripe and Red Hots. I didn't like cinnamon candy, but like these were the things that ended up in your Halloween bag. Boston baked beans candy.
Ugh.
You ever had those? They're
Yeah,
just
they're nasty.
they're peanuts with like a candy shell. So Fruit Stripe, you're right. You could eat an entire pack in 30 seconds. But they've been making it for 54 years. And they said that it is time to move on. It came in 5 flavors. There were 5 flavors in each stick of gum. There was melon, and you wouldn't know any of these if they didn't list them for you. Melon, cherry, lemon, orange, and peach. Now, they could tell you that, and you'd never know. I think that's probably all made up. They were just like, here's some gum. We'll put these colors on it, but it's all random fruit flavor. And you got the temporary tattoo of Yipes the zebra, like Mary said. But they are discontinuing fruit stripe gum. Now, you could probably go to Sweeties and scoop some up.
Still have never been. I want to go.
You've never been to Sweeties?
Mm-mm.
Huh. Well, I've never been to Mr. Hero, and you've never been to Sweeties. Maybe you and I should go on like a little tour of
Sunday fun day together. We
yeah.
guys do a little. You get some Sweeties, and you go get some Mr. Hero. Mr. Hero's so good.
You and I will go to Sweeties and Mr. Hero Poundcake, and then that night we will both spend our night on the toilet.
Stop by my house, and we can do. All three of us can do a stairwell fart together. That'll get people excited.
I'll provide the stairwell shart.
Yeah, all of it should be your treat. You make more.
That is true. I'll treat you to some Sweeties.
Okay.
Now, what will you zoom in on if you go to Sweeties? What will you make a beeline for what?
I want the damn it's like Wonka Shockers, and I don't know if they're around anymore, but those sour.
The Warheads?
No, they are Wonka.
Oh, I remember
sours.
Shockers. Yeah, those were good.
And I don't know if they got discontinued or nerds just took them over, but I want some of those, and I haven't been able to find them. I looked on Amazon, I can't find them, so maybe Sweeties will have them.
Not on the Sweeties website.
My go-to at Be a Sweeties is Zots.
Those are good. They're like rip-off M&Ms.
A bitch loves
No,
a
they're
spree,
not.
too.
Zots are hard candy that are filled with like a foaming. It
Oh,
foams
really?
on the inside.
Oh, yeah, okay. What am I thinking of?
I have no idea.
Sixlets.
Sixlets, yeah. Zots are Z-O-T-Z.
My daughter had some Zots at Halloween, and I
love
had
'em.
never had one. I put one in my mouth. I was like, that's pretty good.
Yeah, and then so it's like a regular hard candy, and then the foam stuff starts to come out the sides. Oh, man, I love them.
Poundcake.
You love that.
Wonka Shockers became Sweet Tart Chewy.
Okay.
They're at Walmart.
Okay, well, I didn't know.
But they used to have Shockers Squeeze.
Ew.
Like a goo that you...
My kids always like the goo stuff.
The goo, the powders.
Yeah.
I love the candy now that comes with the... So it's like a...
Fun Dip?
No, it's like a sucker that comes with this. You're supposed to put the goop candy in it. So they're like, you've got a thing of sugar, and you put liquid sugar into it.
It's a toy and
it's not a
candy at the same
toy.
time.
It's like all candy. But they're like, ooh, put your extra flavored
Goop?
juice in the middle or whatever.
I used to have industrial-sized pixie sticks. Like, the pixie sticks were taller than me.
They were like walking
plastic.
sticks.
Oh, my God.
Rain stick full of...
They had those at the gas station the other day, and I was like,
It's just
maybe
pure.
but they were like 8 feet long. They were insane.
It would make my stomach hurt now if I had one. But kids, you can just eat powdered sugar. There was nothing to the candy. It was just powdered.
And food coloring, yeah.
Yeah.
That's
it's
a
just
Simpsons
insane.
scene where Bart feeds the Flanders kids pixie sticks. And they're like, we're not supposed to have sugar. And he goes, there's no sugar in pixie sticks.
And then they're all
Yeah.
ramped up, yeah. All hopped up on goofballs.
So wait.
Aw, it's okay. There's no sugar in pixie sticks. Trust me. Okay. Don't hug it all, smelly head. Go to hell, sick face. Give me that sugar cake.
I love that show.
So, Poundcake, so Sweet Tart Chewy.
Sweet Tart Chewy.
Extreme Sour.
Extreme sour.
Yep, that's the Wonka Shockers.
Well, why did they?
Because they bought the company. Like, I used to eat these things called kazoozles. They were like licorice that had like goo in the middle.
Mm-hmm.
And those are now just Sweet Tarts ropes is what they call them. So they just like bought the company or whatever and changed the name. But the Wonka Shockers are the Sweet Tart Chewy, which I'm pretty sure you could probably get anywhere. Like you can see those at Walmart and Target. And
Yeah, besides, that's the kind of candy I like. Those Spree.
I got a spree
Skittles.
stuck in my throat when I was a little kid. Like, not the chewy spree.
You got the old school hard spree.
Spree.
Yeah.
I had one stuck in my throat. I remember I was just playing around in the front yard eating sprees, and I went like running inside, like my dad had to stick his finger in my throat and get the spree out of my throat.
That's terrifying, man. If you're a parent,
Yeah.
your kid is.
It's the worst. Yeah.
I am like Gwen's always when Nora was real little, and even when my older kids were little, even though they didn't live with me, but I am just like terrified of my kid choking to the point where I would like, my daughter, even when they got a little bit older, I was still cutting food into these tiny bits. And Gwen's like, she has teeth. I go, I know, because my little brother choked when I was a kid, and he was turning blue, and my mom was freaking out. So, like, my entire life, I'm terrified of my kid choking.
When my kids choked on sushi once, and I slapped them on the back, and they
Yeah.
spit it out. Ugh, so gross, but it was terrifying for a minute.
When my niece was the one she's gonna be 12 in a couple weeks, when she was a baby, like in diapers, baby, she was walking, so maybe less than 2. She got a penny in her mouth.
Yeah.
And found a penny on the ground and started gagging and couldn't get it out. My sister was freaking out, like trying to call 911, and I like flipped her over on her stomach and hit her and like stuck my finger. I know you're not supposed to stick your finger in their throat because it can shove it down further, but I got it out. And we were young, dude. My sister had her when she was 19, and I was only 22. So we've got this baby who's choking. We told our dad, and he was like, "This is why you guys shouldn't live alone." He's like getting all mad at us and everything. Like, it was really scary.
That's why I shouldn't have pennies.
Could I be pregonate? How do I know if I'm prengan? What is the best time to sex to become pregnant?
Anybody see that story about the woman who got pregnant in prison, and the explanation she gave is positively demented? You talk about going the extra mile to cover up the fact that one of the hacks knocked you up in prison.
Yeah, and everyone knows, like, how.
Family confused by pregnant inmate. This girl, Daisy Link, who's 28 years old. She's been in Miami-Dade County since summer of 2022. And they're trying to figure out how she got pregnant. And her explanation was, what she told her mother. There was a prisoner who she did not know who passed semen inside of a glove 3 times through an air conditioning vent in the jail wall. And that's how it happened.
Sounds feasible.
She put it inside?
She did.
Where'd she get
I
it
guarantee she didn't even go that far in her thinking, because no one would believe that you would take a random glove. How does a guy get a semen glove through the air conditioning vent?
And then why would you put it inside you?
What an amazing explanation. What a psychotic explanation. Because, like the corrections facilities, like, we've got to look into this.
So, and again,
no one knows how it happened.
This may be a stupid question, but I am really curious. I know it's wrong for a guard to sleep with an inmate, but is it illegal?
Mm-hmm.
So so he can go to jail for that.
Yeah, it's happened.
Okay. Because now the mom's behind bars and the father's behind bars. So what do they do with the kid? It goes to adoption, or someone outside raises it? Who has...
A family member might take care of it, something like that. Or they just make it a little jail baby.
Jail baby.
Jail
baby.
She's working the lunch line.
The mother said, it's absolutely ludicrous that this is the explanation. This is what the corrections facility and her daughter told her. She's like, nothing went through the air conditioning vent and into my daughter. She's 3 months pregnant.
So literally every single CO there is going to have to do a DNA test.
Yeah, and then you got to, because these prisons are always like, oh, we have the best prenatal medical care. It's like nobody is counting on prisons to have the best any kind of health care. Although you do have health care when you're on the inside. A lot of people on the outside don't.
Yeah. That was like a thing when I used to watch Shameless. The dad used to fight with a guy who was homeless, and he was just like, you know what? I'd rather be in prison than be on the streets of Chicago. I get 3 meals a day, the best poor man's health care you could possibly get.
Yeah. 3 hots and a cot. I'm going to take a break here. If you want to get the last word in, send me a text.